guys.
I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Park Board of the City of Connersville, Indiana is now in session. Harold, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, since we don't have Carrie, would you like to roll?
Sure. Scott Kiefaber,
Here.
Jeff Cooley,
Here.
Carrie Piper, here. Ann Kirshner, here. Harold Gordon,
Here.
Vane Lashua.
Here.
All right, very good.
You missed one. No.
No, we got all four of them.
6.
I got everybody on board tonight, just missing a few extras. Reading of the minutes of the March meeting. Anybody have any additions or corrections to that?
I'd like to make the motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, minutes pass. Move on to new business. So you just handed this out to you. We talked about a little bit last meeting, the Fair Board contract. I think it was pretty much in order, except for what the total amount that the club would donate back to the park. We did have that change. Catherine had discussed that with the president of the Fair Board, and we did up that a little bit since it's been at that level of $850 for quite some time. We've actually got it up to $1,500 at this point. I think that's the main change, isn't it?
That's it.
Okay. So,
Besides the dates.
yeah. So it's basically the same as last year's contract, except for the amount of money that the fair will donate back to the park. Anybody have any questions on that?
The fair's the fair, nothing else to expect. I mean, when you talked with Tom, he was nothing new, nothing weird, nothing strange.
Not so far.
Not,
Yeah. Good.
Okay, if no one has any questions, I'll make the motion to pass it.
All right, I got a first. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
And, all right, all those in favor of the fair contract, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, fair contract's good for the year. We're gonna reapproach that again next year, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, moving on. Dennis, how's sports?
Everything's looking pretty good. We wound up baseball and softball season as of yesterday, and we've now got church league softball going on, and we're looking to get ready to start putting out information to start up fall soccer and machine pitch softball. And when we get all that put together, it'll be on the website. Everybody can look for it. Other than that, that's about all we got going on right now.
Okay.
Hey Dennis, in Little League, how many kids did you have in that total?
I believe all the ball was 374.
That's from T-ball through
Yes,
12-year-olds.
yes.
Well, that's almost reaching what you had the spring soccer at. Spring soccer was at 397, so that's good.
Oh yeah, that's catching up because it's actually the numbers increased on a little bit of everything.
Good.
I don't know if that's due to COVID or what, but
Yeah, people want to get out now, so.
yeah.
Okay, well, good. All right. Okay. Any other questions for Dennis today? Okay. All right. Throws the ball over at Catherine. What's happening over at your area?
Well, Harold just gave me some questions from the public, so, did she say where the stone was with the dirty flowers?
That, Mrs., shoot,
Oh, in the Miller Garden?
Yes.
That's in the garden, okay.
yeah, Miller Garden.
but we can check into that. The fountain, I just got a Neely Trend Landscape to start on redoing the landscaping down there. With the endowment payout that we get every year from Father Mazzola had left money at the Community Foundation. And not a week later, the darn thing stopped working. It was dirty, nasty, it says nasty water. That was because there was rust coming up through the lines. That got fixed, and now the water is somehow backing up into that electric box. So we had to shut it off because obviously you don't mix water and electricity. So we are going to have to look into what's going on with the fountain again, but that's why it's turned off. And I'm guessing this is a comment about Kittyland Playground. I had mentioned this at the Board of Works, I think, a few weeks ago. The reason I have not mulched that is because the west and north borders of that playground are falling over.
Okay.
And so we're kind of debating if we're just going to pull that border out, if we're going to try to fix it, what makes the most sense, because it doesn't make any sense to spend thousands of dollars on mulch and then have a border that is falling down. So that's where we are with those. And as far as my regular report goes, I just did a 6-month update for you guys. I know you all had seen our goals for the year, and I thought you might be curious as to what we had done. We've accomplished quite a few things. It doesn't look like a lot, but they were all things that took lots of time. So blue is what we've completed, and green is where we're headed next. I do know for sure that I did miss the deadline for my project at Offutt's Park that I wanted to start. It's just too many things to do and not enough time in the day. So we can try for that next year and hopefully make a better plan for it than just kind of throwing something together. Having some really good conversations about 2nd Street. We have a final design. We're meeting tomorrow to start strategizing for that match money. Longwood is moving along really well. The disc golf course, I know we've talked about, but it's here, it's in, and we have 10 of the signs up. The guys just have to hang the rest of them up. And then we got started today on the junior tee signs, so those will be coming soon. You can even see Kittyland mulch is right there in green, what we're working on. We will be taking down Park Road Playground and Frazee Playground soon. We do have new umbrellas at the pool, windscreen. A couple of these things were just added in as well, so I don't know if you guys have any questions about.
I had a patron ask a question about the old horseshoe pits.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any, he was concerned because they're just not being used
Right.
anymore. And what was,
That's on our list too. We have a couple of ideas. There's actually 2 areas. So the ideas we were throwing around was to leave one, just because there may be people still interested in horseshoes, and we still have those in the building there. A lot of parks are doing these really cool permanent board games, kind of. So you can do like outdoor chess, you can do checkers, you can do cornhole, you can do, there's all kinds of ideas. So I know Rushville just, Dan had sent me the name of some people that they had used to do the permanent cornhole. I thought we might do like a survey, like a simple survey on Facebook, see what people are interested in. But yeah, we're definitely thinking too, it's
well,
just kind of
this
there.
gentleman was kind of sad because he liked to play, and
Yeah.
most of the people that he played horseshoes with simply were not here any longer.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was wondering what was going to happen to that, and he said he's too old to play pickleball and, and enjoyed playing horseshoes. So I told him I'd ask.
Well, we still have the horseshoes. I mean, if anybody wants to come out and play,
and
we
I'm
do have
not
them.
sure that he was aware of that, but I will pass that. I will pass that along.
Yep, definitely.
The problem is, where do you get them? Where do you pick them up?
Well, that would be something we'd have to think through, because I don't want people to walk off with them. So maybe it's something we could check in and out of the Miller Building. Or
Yeah,
some, I know that's what they do in Richmond at Elstro Plaza, because they have, like the, life-size checkers, and they have that kind of, or they have cornhole too, but their library is right across the street, and so you go to the library and you check the things out, and then you return them, so. But yeah, that area is a little neglected, I agree.
well,
Sounds like you're still moving things forward though. That sounds good. Okay. All right, with Catherine done, we can move on to old business. Anybody got any old business to discuss?
I want to ask kind of a question about Summer Discovery, which obviously is incredibly successful this year, at least with numbers. I noticed that the paper published the rules for Summer Discovery, and the old teacher in me wanted to know, for future reference, because I know that there's a lot of kids there, et cetera. For future reference, would it be I think it would be in the best interest of the city and the park department to put out these rules and regulations first, so when the parent signs their kid up, much like we do at school, have the parents sign off on them, so they're aware of what their expectations are, and let their kids know what the expectations are. Clearly, those rules needed to be done. That's not an issue. But I think it would be easier for everyone if we establish that when you sign up your child, you do the emergency stuff, you pay your fee, and here's the rules and regulations. If you want your child to come, you sign off on those. And I think it would save us some liability in the future.
Yeah, we've had to pivot at Summer Discovery. We've never had the amount of children that we have this year, and with all those personalities has come a bunch of new issues.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why we did that. I don't know why the paper just copied and pasted that right off our Facebook page. I didn't submit it. I'm not quite sure why it ran on the front page, but that's fine.
Well,
But that would be the idea, sure, and next year that's what we can do. But this year we just had to make
Oh,
some
no,
adjustments
obvious.
in real time, so.
obviously.
But to your point, every parent is required to sign that paper, and if we don't have one, their child cannot stay. So every child that is attending right now, their parent has signed that paper, and it's filed with their registration form.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay.
nobody is staying without
Yeah,
that.
I thought there was always something in place that they had to sign when they get there.
Yep.
Also too, is with a lot of conflict resolution going on, how much training is being done with the counselors, and they are doing a workmanlike job, but conflict resolution when you have that many kids can be very difficult. Are we providing any kind of instruction for the counselors on how to handle these kinds of situations so they don't escalate out of control? Because if you let kids from 5 to 12 handle things on their own, sometimes it gets pretty ugly.
The kids are not left to handle conflicts by themselves, and actually we do a split. So the K through 2s are usually taken off to one area, and the 3 through 6s are taken to another. We don't have those types of training programs available. We don't train our counselors to work 8-week summers for this program. So if your expectation as a parent is we have a lot of parents who seem to anticipate one-on-one time for their emotionally troubled child. We are not able to provide that, so this is not the program for those children. And I will be more than happy to explain that to any parent. That is not the service that we are equipped to provide. We are not able to provide emotional counseling. We are not able to provide in-depth conflict resolution. The kids that we hire, they learn mostly from our counselors usually stay with us for at least 3, not 4. My directors this year have been with us, I think, 5 years now. They learn from the people who came before them. So they learn from all the other counselors. This is the best way that we've learned how to do this. So no, we don't do that. And
Well,
I
doing
would just say
something,
it's not an expectation that
Yeah.
parents should have, because this is a day camp. It's not school. It's not daycare.
Right.
It is a camp. It is run, my managers are in their early 20s. The counselors are mostly 20s down to 15 years old. So if that is not the level of care that you are comfortable with, then I would advise you not to enroll your child at Summer Discovery.
because with what this is and for the cost that it is, there's no funds available to
No,
spend
it's
on
supposed to be
training
fun.
training these kids, high school, college kids, to be able to handle something like that.
Or the time,
Yeah, I
or-
mean, they'd have to start training a couple weeks to 3 weeks
Right.
before they even took their job. And most of them aren't even in town at that point in time. So, yeah, I understand it, but.
It's not a
it is
match
what
for
it is.
everybody.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not. We've had a parent recently, and we had to just say this. I understand if this isn't a match for you. That's perfectly fine. No hurt feelings either way. But there are certain things we cannot provide, and that's trained. Counselors of that level is not something that we have.
Well, I think from the parents' point of view too, there's a desperation because there is not any kind of good childcare available, or is
We are it.
incredibly expensive.
We are it for the summer. I do not know of another daycare option
Yeah.
in town. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't. Other than a, regular daycare setting, I don't know of, especially for an older child.
Right.
I don't know. So we are definitely filling a gap. We are filling it as best as we
Absolutely.
can, but the expectation level can't be up here when you're paying $15 a day
Right.
with 3 meals from 7 to 5:30. We're doing our best, and to expect that level is not going to be realistic.
Well, I've popped in a couple of times, and the kids have been having a blast.
Most of them
From
do.
what I've witnessed,
Oh, yeah.
the counselors that you've hired, they're on it. They are alert, they are right there with the kids, having fun. I even chatted with a few of the campers, the day campers, and they were eager to tell me all about what they had been doing and what their favorite parts were, and with smiles on their faces, and not much time to chat because they had to go because they were missing out on something. So I think that your directors are doing a very nice job. And
I'm
it's
very
chaos. When you walk in, it takes you a minute to get your bearings.
I bet.
But once you realize that it's organized chaos, that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing and where they're supposed to be at, then you also realize that everybody is, with I'm sure a few minor
Yeah.
behavioral issues, they're having a wonderful time. And I did ask one of the kids, I said, so what would you be, actually I asked three of them, they were standing there, I said, what would you be doing if you did not have this option? He said, we'd be at home. I said, what would you be doing at home? Yeah,
Yeah.
playing video games, watching my phone, on my phone, I'd be on my phone.
They're not allowed to
And I
have phones.
said, yeah, and I said, well, are you allowed to have your phone here? No, we don't, no. And I said, would you be able to go outside? No, we're not allowed to go outside at home. And so it is providing such a wonderful opportunity for these kids to swim, to get outside and play, to get outside and run, to learn about nutrition, to
I
just
heard we have a really good teacher for that.
I think so. I think that it's such a great opportunity for our
And we
town to
just
have
built a-
summer discovery, because it's a
Feels
needed.
Feels a huge need.
Yes.
And we just booked our field trip. We're going to the Children's Museum on July
wow.
29th. We're taking the first 50 kids that sign up, and it's only $15 to go to the museum and have their lunch paid for.
Wow.
That's so great.
And the reason we limited it was because of bus space and counselors.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna leave camp open as well, so if you don't wanna pay the 15, or if you're not one of the 50, then camp will still remain open that day, so.
Well, Children's Museum has limits of how many adults per kid.
That's awesome.
There wasn't anything for inside, but to go outside, it was 1 to 5. So we'll have to do some arranging when we get there, but we'll figure it out. So, because that's pretty low for us. We're usually like 1 to 10.
Inside it used to be 1 to 10.
Well, that's what we run basically is
Yeah.
1 to 10. So, but yeah, I'm really excited about that. We went to a Fever game 2 years ago, and then last year was COVID, which we were the only day camp, I think, in the area that opened during COVID. So I feel like we're getting back in the swing of things, and this will be a really big field trip.
They love going to the movies on Wednesday. That's huge.
Good. Well, thanks, Ian. All right, sounds like we've got something going that's pretty nice for our park, and I think we need to help it along. Okay. All right, let's move on. Anybody got any more old business? Okay, miscellaneous business. Anybody out there? All right, everybody look over claims, including payroll. I need a motion to accept claims with payroll.
I have one question. There's two Pros Consulting. What do they
That's
do?
the folks that do our, have been working with River's Edge to do all the information gathering and give us the report on what we should build.
Trails.
Partially trails, but the ball fields and the, all that up there of River's Edge, so,
That's being paid for with the grant from the Lions Club.
yep.
In
Yeah.
the Sportsman Store Trophy Shop, we buy the shirts and then sell them, or how does it work?
That would have been for,
It's included in the registration
Yeah.
fee, so when you sign up for baseball or soccer, whatever, it includes the cost of your t-shirt.
Just seemed like a lot of money.
well, when
It
you have,
is,
you
yeah.
have, what, 374 baseball kids, so that's 374 t-shirts.
Shirts,
$3
hats.
shirt.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for $6 shirt.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
That's
So it is.
that's
Yeah.
very inexpensive.
Joey takes care of us.
Yes. So, yeah. Okay, so I still need a motion on claims and payroll.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, claims is accepted. All right. Yep, audience is empty. Okay, so nobody has anything for the public forum? Okay, we can move on. Need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I have a first
I'll second.
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Meeting adjourned.